Okay, guys, you must have seen pictures that they are repainting Aso Villa, for the new president. The media is reporting that this is costing us billions of naira, 14 billion to repaint, to move furniture, but I honestly don't believe that. Let me know what you guys think. However, the shocking thing to me is seeing how Buhari is squandering our money at the last minute in office. This whole month of May, the man has gotten us into so many debts and he has squandered so much money. Look at the $21 billion VVIP wing they just constructed at the Aso Villa Clinic. Is it VIP or VVIP? You don't even... Okay, it's VVIP from what I remember. Anyways, so they just commissioned this at the Aso Villa Clinic. How did this cost us 21 billion naira? That is more than $45 million, so $45.5 million to be precise.
All the activities were like going on concurrently at the same time. The design, the construction, the equipping, because you even have to source the equipment as the design was even being developed, and so on and so forth. So to the glory of God, today we are here to perform what I would call pre-handing over inspection.
From the structure to the equipment. This thing is not what 21 billion naira. They said it's a 14-bed capacity. That means $45 million on 14 bed. That is $3.2 million on each bed. The devil is lying. I am very sorry.
Now, let me just make a note. This is not a luxury hotel. This is the presidential hospital. It is not actually only the presidential wing. This is a complete presidential hospital, as you all have seen. There's no more to say.
But this is just ridiculous. This Aso Villa Clinic has been in existence before Buhari's time. It's not as if they just built the entire thing. Remember that his daughter Zara Buhari was announcing to us at that time that common paracetamol they did not have when her father just became president. So this is meant to be an expansion. Expansion, also known as the VVIP wing. I mean, we see hospital expansions here all the time. Scripps Memorial Hospital in California, they are doing a $25 million expansion right now, constructing a new 64-bed facility. 64 beds. This is the 3D of what they are building. 64-bed capacity, 224,000 square foot, with half the money that Buhari said that he spent. Why are you lying? We also saw what they did with $20 million, the $20 million expansion at the Hospital of Providence East Campus in El Paso, Texas.
A $20 million project was announced for the Hospitals of Providence East El Paso campus.
The expansion will add an additional 36 beds to the hospital, a third catheterization lab equipped with new technology, and triage rooms for obstetrics emergency services, as well as an operating room within women's services.
Thank you. You see what I'm trying to say. Did you hear the number of beds for $20 million? That is not up to half of the money that Buhari said he spent in this Abuja VVIP clinic. And in Canada, 2 years ago, they built an entire stem cell unit at Juravinsky Hospital. That's a cancer center. This was just 2 years ago.
This is a first look at the Ron and Nancy Clark Stem Cell Transplantation and Cellular Therapies Unit at the Juravinsky Hospital and Cancer Center. By adding 15 more beds to the already existing 39, the Juravinsky Cancer Center will be able to provide care more widely.
With $30 million, 30 million Canadian dollars, they were able to add 50 new beds. I just want people to know that this Buhari's government has calmed us. As in broad daylight, with $45 million, how can you say 14-bed expansion? And then on top of that, they think that we are stupid. So they are painting it as the best hospital in the world. Look at Aisha Buhari, the first lady, telling us that presidents in Nigeria no longer need to go abroad for treatment because of this thing they do.
This new medical center is designed to be a one-stop shop for medical services, especially ensuring that there is a drastic reduction in the frequent medical trips abroad by top officials in the presidency.
Health and wellness of the first family, they don't need to go abroad now. They can only need to maybe fly in an expert to help our people, So no need for any leader to spend months and months abroad because of healthcare.
First of all, Madam Ekwele, in case you're watching, how come you didn't do this when your husband was spending months abroad for medical treatment? Why did you not do this thing? It's not about what you say. You guys were supposed to lead by example. Penny. Second of all, I'm sure that she's throwing jabs at Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Do you guys really think that their VVIP wing will stop Tinubu from going to France for treatment? I mean, wouldn't that be nice, At least next time that he's traveling abroad for treatment, the media in Nigeria will be able to say, despite the new 21 billion naira VIP wing at Aso Villa Clinic, Tinubu gets to France for what? For treatment. But it's not just the money embezzled in the name of expanding Aso Villa Clinic. Buhari had several last-minute financial requests, which surprisingly, the Senate rushed to approve without serious interrogation. Believe it or not, they've approved his request for another $800 million World Bank loan. This $800 million, by the way, he said that it will be disbursed in cash to 50 million Nigerians who are most vulnerable. Who is not vulnerable in Nigeria? They want to share the money among 50 million Nigerians. That will be 7,200 naira each. What will 7,200 naira do in the lives of Nigerians? And then, of course, they will buy bus to be going around. They will, you know what I'm saying? How can you borrow money for Itoriano? NCC is leaving. Will they still get this money to the vulnerable? I don't know. It's just... Never mind. They will just embezzle the money anyway. Now, the Senate also approved this request for judgment debts. You know, Nigeria has a lot of judgment debts. We get slammed with judgment debts whenever Nigeria doesn't uphold its end of a contract, which Nigerian officials, they do a lot. People sue Nigerian government or the different ministries for failures that could have been prevented. Our judgment debt is in various currencies. They take us to court in different parts of the world. We have a $556 million judgment debt, another 98.5 million pounds. There's also the 226 billion naira judgment debt. The sad thing is, government officials who failed to do their job that led to these judgment debts, they are never held accountable. They should have been taking the money out of their salaries. You know, some of these debts are ridiculous if you hear about how we came to owe this money. Right now, we are facing $11 billion. 11 that could have been avoided. Do you know how we got into this mess? Nigeria awarded a contract. It's a 20-year contract that they signed with P&ID. That's an engineering and project management company. They said this company should build a state-of-the-art gas processing plant to refine natural gas in Nigeria. They said they should come and build it in Nigeria. Now, part of the contract says that on its part, the Nigerian government will ensure that all the necessary pipelines and related infrastructure were installed and that arrangements were made with agencies and third parties to deliver gas to this company that will refine gas for us. P&ID. However, Nigerian government failed to meet its own commitment. The people are asking, where is the land? Where is everything you're supposed to provide? Nigerian government said, you have to have the plant first before we can give you gas to refine. They are saying, no, you give us the gas. So they were going back and forth. Can you imagine? All Nigeria needed to do was just fulfill its own end of the contract. They did not. And since Nigeria failed to meet its own commitment, guess what? This company, P&ID, took Nigerian government to court in London, claiming that they are about to lose 20 years worth of profits. You know, they signed a 20-year contract. But the court now said, pay them $6 billion because since you didn't uphold your own end of the contract, this company will lose $6 billion in 20 years. Can you imagine? And then on top of that, they said, well, it's been a couple of years. I think it was like 2 or 3 years at that time. They said, well, it would have accrued interest. So the interest will be about 3 billion. Put that on top. That's how we got to 9 billion. And now in 2023, we have gotten to what? $11 billion with interest. Can you imagine how ridiculous this is? Who was fired when this thing happened? Who took responsibility? And Buhari is getting away with all this at the last minute. The devil is a liar.